If the latest big-budget superhero blockbuster gave you that gnawing feeling in your bladder that comes with a padded runtime, then you may not be familiar with the world of slow cinema. Some movies are long enough to make Blade Runner 2049 look like a teaser trailer. And not just experimental films either, but movies actually intended for theatrical audiences to sit through. So grab a popcorn and some adult diapers, because here's a look at the longest movies in history. Tie Shi Chu, West of the Tracks. China's transition out of a strict communist socialism was a long and painful one, and the 2003 documentary, Tie Shi Chu, West of the Tracks, presents those struggles in heartbreaking detail.
Filmed over 2 years by director Wang Bing, the film charts the decline of the Tie Shi industrial district as it withers away, leaving tens of thousands of workers without jobs.
Variety wrote that viewers will find themselves hypnotized by its density and artistic integrity, though it added that the film's 9-hour and 11-minute runtime was at least an hour too long. Showa. Directed by Claude Lanzmann, the 1985 French documentary Showa is perhaps the single most vital document of those who survived the Holocaust, featuring 9 hours and 26 minutes of interviews with people who actually lived through it. The great Roger Ebert described it powerfully, writing, "There is no proper response to this film.
It is an enormous fact,
a 550-minute howl of pain and anger in the face of genocide. It is one of the noblest films ever made." Showa is widely considered to be one of the greatest documentaries of all time, but that doesn't mean you'll have fun watching it. When the film was screened in Israel for the first time, one audience member fainted and another suffered a heart attack. How Yukong Moved the Mountains.
During China's Cultural Revolution of the early 1970s, Dutch filmmaker Joris Evans spent several years chronicling the transformation of Chinese society.
The result was the 1976 documentary, How Yukong Moved the Mountains, which at 12 hours and 43 minutes is the third longest theatrical film ever made. Of course, finding a theater that will actually show it is a challenge, but there are museums that do very rare screenings, so keep your eyes peeled. Out One.
With a labyrinthine plot of multiple intersecting threads,
the 1971 French drama Out One may be the ultimate endurance watch, clocking in at nearly 12 hours, 53 minutes. It challenges viewers not only to stay in their seats, but to keep track of what the hell's going on throughout its marathon of a narrative. So what's it all about? According to the New York Times, it's a perfect exploration of director Jacques Levet's pet themes of life as performance, performance as life, reality as a construction, and reality as someone else's construction impinging on your own. So in other words, it's a lot like MacGruber.
Put your pants back on! What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing!
Resan, The Journey. The 1987 Swedish documentary Resan is an important film about a sobering topic, examining the military use of nuclear technology on a global scale, its impact on the environment, and the public's perception of nukes. Clocking in at a whopping 14 hours and 33 minutes, Resan is the single longest theatrical film ever produced, screening at several film festivals in 1987. Now it can be seen on a 5-DVD box set, split into 19 chapters for a slightly easier viewing experience. Taiga. Ulrike Ottengor has been in the documentary film business for over 40 years, tackling a wide range of topics all over the globe. But perhaps her most notable effort, or at least her longest, is the 1992 film Taiga, which clocks in at 8 hours and 21 minutes. An in-depth look at the nomadic tribes of northern Mongolia, the New York Times said that Taiga gives viewers much more than a tourist's eye view of an ancient tribal culture. At such times, it conveys a sense of really being there. The works of Lav Diaz. Finally, if there's one name synonymous with insanely long movies, it's Lav Diaz, who has made an entire career of testing the limits of his fans' bladders.
perhaps the most famous purveyor of slow cinema, Diaz made a name for himself with the 2004 epic Evolution of a Filipino Family, a 10-hour, 47-minute black and white saga about life under dictator Ferdinand Marcos that took 8 years to film. And that was just the start. He followed with the 2006 epic Eremias Book 1, The Legend of the Lizard Princess, which clocked in at a relatively succinct 9 hours. A year later, he directed Death in the Land of Encantos, a 9-hour and 5-minute black and white saga about Super Typhoon Durian, which devastated the Philippines in 2006, killing over 1,000 people. And in 2016, Diaz released A Lullaby to the Sorrowful Mystery,
an 8-hour, 5-minute historical saga about the Filipino struggle to liberate themselves from Spain in 1896. Reviews were mixed, with The Hollywood Reporter saying the film was distinguished by Diaz's trademark disregard for trying the viewer's patience with static long takes and lack of narrative flow. Forget about smuggling snacks into the theater. If you see a Diaz film, try sneaking in a sleeping bag instead. Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.